Dear viewers, this is the fourth session on the same story, The Last Leaf, by American well-known storyteller, story writer O. Henry. So today, we shall move on to the last few lines of the story. In the last session, we discussed how Behrman, the old artist, was brought to Jhansi's room, and throughout the night, Shu painted his picture, and in the early mornings he slept for few hours, and in those few hours, Behrman had painted the last leaf. And that painting of the last leaf was put outside the window, and even that was not known to Shu also. And while in the morning the window was opened, Jhansi with greater curiosity witnesses through that window the last leaf, whether it is fallen or going to fall. But it has not fallen. And from that point of time onwards, she got the hope of getting cured of pneumonia. She changed her mental status of that misconception that by the time that last leaf falls, she is going to die. It changed to the positive conception, positive belief that this last leaf doesn't fall and she does not die. And this positive belief entered into her mind. And then the doctor came and said to Shu that she is not going to die, she will easily recover, and only the thing left is Shu has to look after her, providing good food, providing all comforts to her. That's all. She will really get well very soon, and that is what doctor said. Now let's see what happens by the end of this story. Doctor said to Shu that there is another patient he is going to meet, he is going to treat. That patient is none other than this old artist, old man, Behrman. He is also suffering from pneumonia. Due to his age factor, it is very tough for him, a very difficult thing for him to encounter that deadly disease, the fatal disease. That's why doctor had made a plan to take him to the hospital to make him comfortable. And that's what the doctor did also. And that afternoon, see what happens. Shu came to the bed where Jhansi lay. She put one arm around her. So that afternoon, already in the bed, Jhansi had got up and sat down in the bed. Putting one hand around her back, Shu said, "I have something to tell you." She said, "Mr. Behrman died of pneumonia today in the hospital." Because Behrman is also a known person to these two girls. She got the news of Behrman's death. Shu got the news of Behrman's death, and that had made her so painful, that made her very sorry, and she had been very sad for the news of the death of Behrman, the old artist. "I have something to tell you," she said. "Mr. Behrman died of pneumonia today in the hospital." ಅವಳ ಭುಜದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೈ ಇಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಜಾನ್ಸಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ರಿಕವರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಎದ್ದು ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಅವಳ ಭುಜದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೈ ಇಟ್ಟು ಇವಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, ನಾನು ನಿನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ನಾನು ನಿನಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಏನೋ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅದೇನು ಅಂದರೆ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಬೆಹರ್ಮನ್ ಈ ನ್ಯೂಮೋನಿಯಾ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಯಿಂದ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತಾನೆ ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ನಂತೆ. He was ill only 2 days. That he was suffering from pneumonia from the last 2 days only. Someone found him on the morning of the first day in his room. He was helpless with pain, and as the people looked at him in the room, he was completely suffering. He was completely ill, irrecoverably ill, and he was helpless with pain. He was suffering, he was groaning, he was very much in pain of that deadly disease pneumonia, as never to recover from it. His shoes and his clothes were wet and as cold as ice. Everyone wondered where he had been, but nobody had known. Next day he was not at the room, he was not in the room, and nobody had known that he was taken to the hospital. But his shoes were there, his clothes were wet, as cold as ice, because outside there was heavy rain and the wind blowing throughout the night. Everyone wondered where he had been. Nobody had known that he was taken to the hospital. That's why whoever looked into the room not to find Behrman inside, and all they thought, all they wondered, where had he been in this cold, in this heavy rain and icy kind of atmosphere. The night had been so cold and wild, and throughout the night there was icy kind of atmosphere, and it was very horrible to go outside in the night. But this fellow Behrman is not there inside the room, and where he should have gone. Like that, everybody who looked into the room, finding him not there inside, thought that and wondered that, thinking where he might have gone. ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದವರೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಳಗೆ ಅವನು ಇಲ್ಲವೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಇಂಥ ಮಳೆ ಗಾಳಿ ಕೊರೆಯುವ ಚಳಿಯ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಪಾಪ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಪಾಪ. ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಅವನ ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒದ್ದೆಯಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ವು, ಅವನ ಶೂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ವು, ಪಾಪ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೇನೋ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ತುಂಬ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಪಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಆದರೆ ಪಾಪ ಅವನು ಸತ್ತೋಗಿದ್ದ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನು ಅವನು ಸತ್ತೋಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ. And then they found some things. There was a light that had taken outside, and there were his materials for painting. There was paint, green paint and yellow paint. See, there were some materials of his painting work, and among those materials of his painting work, there was green paint, and also there was yellow paint. So what it tells us as the readers of this story, that throughout the night he should have painted that last leaf, and after painting that last leaf he should have kept it outside that window, as not to make that last leaf fall, to save the life of Jhansi. Look out the window, dear, at the last leaf on the wall. Don't you wonder why it never moved when the wind was blowing? She realized, she wants to realize, she wants to tell the truth to Jhansi, that she asked, do you think why that last leaf never shakes? That last leaf never shakes, though it is amidst the wind and rain. Oh my dear, ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಿನಗೆ, ಆ ಕೊನೆಯ ಎಲೆ ಮಳೆ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ, ಗಾಳಿ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇದೆ, ಆದರೂ ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೂಡ ಅಲುಗಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ನಿನಗೆ? Oh my dear, it is Behrman's great masterpiece. It is not the real leaf of the tree, but it is the leaf painted by Behrman, and that has saved your life, and that is why that Behrman wanted to produce the masterpiece in his life, and his masterpiece is this itself. His masterpiece is this last leaf. He painted it there the night that the last leaf fell. He painted it in the night, and by the time that last leaf fell, he kept his painted last leaf outside the window, and that's why it's not falling. So it turned, it changed, it set the mind of Jhansi right from misconception to positive conception. And this is what Behrman did in order to save the life of Jhansi. And this is how here Behrman seems to be the symbol of sacrifice, and his art seems to be the savior of life. This Behrman seems to be the symbol of sacrifice, and his art seems to be the savior of life. And with this, the story ends. So now, let us see the possibilities of say how the students can understand the story with the different points of views, because the story is not just a story. What happens in the story is not just that much. It has a lot of things to be pondered over. It has a lot of things to be thought over in its depth. So that the students should try to analyze, should try to point out. And also, the very interesting thing here is how interestingly mind and body are brought in connection. And that is also the very special dimension of the story with which we have to analyze, and also to explain different dimensions of the story. So what are the different dimensions of the story? That has to be explained. See, about the writer, we have already known something, and this writer is a well-known writer for his ironic plots, and he is known for such stories. Let us see some subtopics to be discussed as far this story is concerned. See the subtopic like symbolism in the story, The Last Leaf. We can go through that story in search of symbolic elements, and there we can get all these symbolic elements. What are these symbolic elements? The falling leaves. Here, the falling leaves stand for despair, stand for hopelessness. The falling leaves stand for despair, stand for hopelessness, and stand for decay. Stand for decay. And the last leaf, that stands for hope, because the last leaf never falls. So it stands for hope. It stands for strength of the mind. And then Mr. Behrman, a true friend of humanity, a true friend of humanity as well, he is the symbol of sacrifice. He is the symbol of sacrifice. And also we can make him stand with Jesus, because Jesus, who was crucifixed to save this world, he was crucifixed to save this world. In the same way, Mr. Behrman dies of the same disease, pneumonia, but the same Behrman saves Jhansi from the same disease, pneumonia. And Bay of Naples, that is what Jhansi wants to paint once in her life, going to Italy. It is nothing but the future, beautiful future of one's life, or the dreams of one's life. the story may also be studied the psychoanalytically. So with the psychoanalysis, the story can be read, the story can be analyzed. And then what different themes we can go through in this story. The theme of self-sacrifice. Here, the self-sacrifice. Shu wants to look after her friend Jhansi. She wants to sell her paintings to buy something good for her friend Jhansi. And Shu is also a symbol of sacrifice. And Beherman, as I said, is a symbol of sacrifice, and his art is the symbol of Savior, Jesus. And theme of optimism is also here. She had lost the hope of living. But this art brings some hope in her life, and that theme of optimism is also there. And importance of faith, how faith is very important. If faith is there, automatically a man or an individual becomes stronger to face the hurdles or the ordeals of life. The theme of friendship, power of hope. One should always help the loved ones. That is what we see the ideal in this story. Let me discuss you the different steps we go through in the story from the beginning. What are these different steps or different issues that can be discussed? The story begins with one issue, that is the picture of Greenwich Village. The picture of Greenwich Village shows that how the poor life is there, how the poverty is governing that whole area, how no rich people would like to live there, and that place Greenwich Village was known to be the cheap area where only the low class people, only the poor people stay, and the streets were cut into pieces and they were hazardous, and there was nothing to like, and such Greenwich Village it is, and that is described in the beginning of the story. And then painter's predicament is pictured in the beginning of the story as the next step. Painter's predicament. Usually all the painters live there in Greenwich Village because Greenwich Village is the place for the poor. So the poor people stay there due to the cheaper way of life. Then all the artists are also living there. It means the predicament of the artist is also very, very undesirable. It is very, very critical. Even they were also so poor, and even they were not having sufficient food to eat. To that extent they were poor, and they were not well bred even. So this was the painter's predicament told or presented as the second step in the story. And then friendship and compatibility. Let's see that two friends meet each other in a restaurant of English Street, and they found like-mindedness in between them. Both of them liked the same dress, both of them liked the same food, and both of them liked the same paintings, and even while they speak to each other words are liked by each, and that's why all this compatibility made them to live together in a single room, though both of them come from the different places, one from Maine, another from California. Still they decided to live together as the bosom friends, and that is how friendship can be developed in us. And another next issue is writer personifies that disease pneumonia. He introduces that pneumonia as a strange person who moves everywhere by touching the people with his icy fingers. And doctor calls him it is a bad sickness. Doctors call him pneumonia. So he introduces that pneumonia as a personified person. So that is another impressive kind of the introduction of pneumonia as a person. It is personified. Then acute obsessive disorder. See, here there is a mental problem taken up as an issue in this story. A psychological problem is taken up as an issue in this story. What is that psychological problem? That is acute obsessive disorder. That acute obsessive disorder is Jhansi thinking that by the time the last leaf falls, I will die. As the last leaf goes, I also go. So this misconception was killing her, and this is what we call acute obsessive disorder. So this is mental disease, and to get rid of that mental disease, Shu takes the help of Mr. Behrman the artist, and that Mr. Behrman the artist saves her life and changes her mind with the help of his art. So art is the remedy to solve the mental problem. So that is another issue to be discussed in this story. And then human relationship. This is a very important factor throughout this story. Human relationship. How these two friends will become friends with their compatible features, with their compatible personalities, and how they are very known girls to Behrman, and that Behrman also comes forward to paint the last leaf to save the life of Jhansi, and he sacrifices his own life. He paints that last leaf, and he goes outside in the rain and wind, in the icy atmosphere, and he keeps that last leaf outside that window on the branch of the tree, and makes Jhansi to believe that the last leaf is not falling. And when she believed that last leaf was not falling, she started to get the hope of life. And this is human relationship. And how even doctor is also so humane. He was humane towards the patient, first patient Jhansi, and he was humane towards the second patient Behrman. And also he advises Shu to look after her as a friend by providing good food so that she can easily recover from her disease. And this is all what we see humanity in this story. And lastly, and very important thing, art as a savior of life. Art as a savior of life. Though artists are poor, art is not giving good life to the artists, but art saves life. Though art is not giving good life, artists are not rich, artists are not getting good income, they are not well bred, but this art saves life, and that is very important thing that is to be highlighted in this story. And this savior is equal to Jesus Christ, because we call Jesus Christ as savior of the whole mankind. And then Behrman, a symbol of sacrifice and symbol of savior as Jesus. He is symbol of sacrifice because he knows that he is an old man. He should not go out in the rain. He should not go out when the atmosphere was filled with icy, cold, and wind and rain. But he never bothers. He moves out and keeps that last leaf, and his clothes were wet when he returned inside the room, and as the result, his pneumonia became so stronger he could not face it, and then he was taken to the hospital. And this is what makes him a symbol of sacrifice, as Jesus Christ sacrificed himself being crucified in Jerusalem. He was sacrificed by being crucified in Jerusalem. This Behrman sacrificed his life to save the life of Jhansi by painting the last leaf and keeping it outside that window on the branch of the tree. So these are the important issues to be considered in this story. And when you consider all these issues, you feel that it's not just a story of what happens there, but it has all these issues in its depth. And if you are able to extract those issues and discuss in your own way, in an analytical way, in a critical way, and that will be a very good comprehension, that will be a very good understanding of the story. I think you could understand the story to the maximum extent, I hope. With this much I put an end to this presentation. Thank you.